Antarctica, a continent of ice, science, and profound isolation. Yet beneath the internationally recognized research stations and penguin colonies lies a region shrouded in deliberate obscurity. We're talking about the area often referred to in hushed tones and leaked communiques as Zone 13, a vast expanse exceeding 5,000 square miles, subject to some of the planet's most stringent access restrictions. Forget tourist flyovers or independent expeditions. This zone is monitored by coordinated international military patrols, its airspace a strictly enforced no-fly zone. Why? The official narrative speaks of preserving fragile ecosystems or preventing territorial disputes. But documentation, like the alleged 2018 CIA memorandum designated Ice Shield Protocol, suggests something far more complex. These aren't just environmental protection measures. Whistleblower accounts, though difficult to verify independently, consistently point towards anomalous geological features defying standard cryospheric models, alongside persistent, localized electromagnetic distortions that interfere with navigation and communication systems. These aren't minor fluctuations. We're talking about energy fields potent enough to reportedly disable sophisticated equipment. The zone's boundaries seem deliberately drawn around these phenomena. The core question isn't if this zone is restricted, but what specific discovery necessitates such an extreme, internationally coordinated level of secrecy and military enforcement. The veil over Zone 13 isn't a recent development. Consider Operation Highjump in 1946. Officially termed the United States Navy Antarctic Developments Program, this massive naval expedition, involving thousands of personnel, aircraft carriers and destroyers, was ostensibly for training and establishing a research base. Yet, it ended months ahead of schedule under controversial circumstances. Admiral Richard E. Byrd, the mission commander, spoke cryptically to reporters upon return about the potential for attacks from aircraft capable of flying pole to pole at incredible speeds. While often dismissed, declassified elements of the mission reports mentioned significant aircraft losses and encounters with unexpected aerial resistance. More concretely, logs detail severe magnetic disturbances and instrument failures concentrated in specific polar regions, citing unknown energy sources as the probable cause. Fast forward to the 21st century. In 2021, leaked analyses allegedly originating from Roscosmos, the Russian space agency, purportedly showed satellite radar imagery penetrating miles of ice within the restricted zone. These images reportedly revealed enormous, geometrically precise structures, symmetrical patterns spanning over a mile across, buried deep beneath the surface. While official statements from agencies like NASA dismissed these as glacial pareidolia or natural ice formations, the geometric regularity and scale depicted in the alleged data challenged such simple explanations. Why would natural ice flows create perfect circles and equidistant radial arms? The persistent anomalies reported since Highjump, coupled with modern subsurface imaging attempts, intensify the question, what lies beneath the ice that warrants such consistent denial and obfuscation? The search for answers beneath the ice took a significant leap forward, according to alleged reports stemming from a 2022 glaciological survey near the geographic South Pole, potentially within or adjacent to Zone 13. A team, purportedly associated with the University of Kyoto, deployed advanced ground-penetrating radar technology capable of mapping subsurface structures with unprecedented resolution. Their objective was standard ice sheet analysis, but what they detected defied all known geological models. Deep beneath the glacial layers, their instruments registered a massive object, estimated to be several hundred meters across, exhibiting characteristics inconsistent with natural rock or ice formations. The radar signature indicated high density and a complex internal structure, strongly suggesting artificial origins. Initial data points depicted something with distinct layers, chambers, and possibly interlocking components, far removed from any known terrestrial geology. This wasn't a meteorite or a trapped pocket of volcanic rock. The GPR returns painted a picture of something constructed, something manufactured. The sheer scale of the anomaly, combined with its depth, buried under ice potentially thousands of years old, immediately flagged it as a discovery of monumental importance. The initial excitement among the research team, however, was reportedly short-lived, as the implications of uncovering such an object in this heavily scrutinized region began to sink in. The detection itself represented a potential breach of the unspoken rules governing Antarctic exploration. Further investigation into the nature of this colossal object yielded even more perplexing data, according to leaked communications attributed to personnel involved. Core samples, allegedly extracted via micro-drilling operations under extreme secrecy, contained fragments of the buried structure. Material analysis performed in situ reportedly revealed an exotic metallic alloy. While containing familiar elements like nickel and iridium, known for their density and resistance to corrosion, the alloy's primary component was an element that defied classification, possessing properties inconsistent with any entry on the standard periodic table. Spectrographic analysis indicated an atomic structure unlike anything known to terrestrial science. Subsequent, non-invasive scans using enhanced radar and seismic tomography allegedly mapped parts of the object's internal design. The results, detailed in suppressed preliminary reports, depicted a complex network of interlocking components, vast internal chambers, and structures resembling enormous gears or processing units. Some analysts drew comparisons to the Antikythera mechanism, the ancient Greek analog computer, but the Antarctic object appeared exponentially larger and more complex, suggesting a purpose far beyond astronomical calculation. Then came the information clampdown. Reports suggest that within weeks of the initial detection and analysis, the project was abruptly halted. Data logs were classified, research findings were retracted from preprint servers, and personnel were allegedly subjected to non-disclosure agreements enforced by entities identified as affiliated with Pentagon liaisons. One purported leaked email fragment, attributed to a senior researcher, stated starkly, "The dating places it before the last glacial maximum. This predates known human civilization by millennia. They are terrified of us asking the obvious question, who or what built it?" The mystery of Antarctica deepens when interwoven with lingering enigmas from the mid-20th century, specifically the persistent rumors of a secret Nazi redoubt established during the final years of World War II. Known as Neuschwabenland, this alleged base, supposedly located in the Queen Maud Land region, was purportedly intended as a haven for Nazi leadership and a center for developing advanced Wunderwaffen, or wonder weapons. While mainstream history dismisses this as myth, certain pieces of circumstantial evidence keep the theory alive. Consider again Admiral Byrd's expedition. Beyond the official reports, his personal diary, portions of which have surfaced over the years, contains far more sensational entries. He describes encounters with disc-shaped aircraft exhibiting flight characteristics far exceeding any known Allied or Axis technology of the era. Some interpretations of his writings even suggest encounters with representatives of an advanced civilization residing within a hollow Earth, accessible via polar openings. Furthermore, declassified FBI documents from 1947 discuss investigations into recovered German technical schematics. One notable memo details blueprints for radical, bell-shaped vertical takeoff aircraft, allegedly powered by unconventional energy sources like red mercury, with Antarctica mentioned as a potential test site due to its isolation. Adding a modern layer, recent analysis of thermal imaging data from satellites monitoring the Queen Maud Land area has reportedly detected anomalous subsurface heat signatures, localized hotspots inconsistent with geothermal activity, some allegedly correlating spatially with architectural plans found in captured German archives from the 1940s. Why would governments actively suppress information related to a defunct 70-year-old Nazi conspiracy theory? Perhaps the fear isn't about the Nazis themselves, but the possibility that they either discovered or were given access to technology far beyond their time. Technology that might still be present and potentially operational beneath the Antarctic ice. Beyond historical conspiracies and buried structures, more recent alleged incidents point towards ongoing, potentially non-human activity. A particularly startling account emerged from sources claiming affiliation with Chilean special forces operating near the vast Ross Ice Shelf in 2016. According to these unverified reports, a patrol investigating unusual seismic readings stumbled upon a phenomenon unlike anything recorded in polar exploration: an enormous, perfectly vertical ice wall estimated at over 300 feet tall, extending for miles. This wasn't a natural glacier calving face. Its sheer, smooth surface suggested artificial shaping or an unnatural geological event. Embedded within this colossal ice facade, like insects trapped in amber, were numerous large, dark objects described as non-terrestrial artifacts. These artifacts were reportedly metallic, panel-like structures, seamless and devoid of rivets or joints, displaying complex geometric patterns and symbols etched onto their surfaces. The patrol meticulously documented these findings, including close-up footage of the embedded objects. The symbols, described as a combination of intricate circuitry like patterns and unfamiliar glyphs, bore a striking resemblance, according to later analysis by UFO researchers citing the leak, to markings reported on the alleged spacecraft involved in the famous 1994 encounter near Ruwa, Zimbabwe, where dozens of schoolchildren reported seeing a landed craft and strange beings. This apparent connection across continents and decades raised immediate, alarming questions about the origin and purpose of these objects locked within Antarctic ice. The encounter near the Ross Ice Shelf allegedly escalated beyond the discovery of artifacts. One debriefing report, leaked through clandestine channels, contains a harrowing testimony from a decorated operative. He described seeing figures moving near the base of the ice wall shortly after their arrival. Tall, pale beings, significantly taller than average humans, with slender limbs and large, dark eyes, observing the soldiers from a distance. The report details a sudden equipment malfunction affecting all communication and recording devices simultaneously, followed by a period of missing time reported by several team members. Crucially, all footage and sensor data captured before the malfunction, including the clear images of the ice wall, embedded artifacts, and potentially the strange figures, was confiscated upon the patrol's return to base by individuals identified not as Chilean military command, but as agents affiliated with the U.S. National Security Agency, NSA. The official explanation provided was Environmental Contamination Protocol. Subsequently, the area encompassing the reported ice wall was swiftly designated a special scientific preserve by the Antarctic Treaty Secretariat, citing unique atmospheric conditions. Access became restricted even to national research programs, requiring special permits granted only through a newly formed obscure UN subcommittee. Insiders, however, claim this designation is merely a convenient facade. They allege the site is now a joint operation, potentially involving multiple governments under U.S. oversight, focused not on ecological study, but on attempting to understand and possibly retrieve the embedded artifacts believed to be of extraterrestrial origin. If these accounts hold even a grain of truth, they suggest not just a cover-up of artifacts, but potentially a hidden, ongoing interaction or observation by non-human intelligence in Antarctica, facilitated by a shadow agreement between world powers. Beyond ancient artifacts and potential alien encounters, some researchers point towards Antarctica as the locus for advanced terrestrial technology with potentially devastating global implications, specifically climate manipulation weaponry. Seismologists monitoring deep Earth vibrations have detected persistent, low-frequency resonance patterns emanating from a specific, highly restricted sector beneath the East Antarctic ice sheet. These patterns bear similarities to energy signatures associated with the infamous High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, or HAARP, located in Alaska. Some analysts, citing alleged leaks from disgruntled defense contractors, refer to this Antarctic source as Project Iceworm 2.0, suggesting a modern, vastly more powerful iteration of the Cold War-era U.S. Army project that aimed to deploy nuclear missiles from hidden tunnels under the Greenland ice sheet. However, the theorized purpose of Iceworm 2.0 isn't nuclear deployment, but large-scale weather control. Evidence cited includes documented correlations between synchronized energy pulse spikes detected from both HAARP in Alaska and the suspected Antarctic facility, immediately preceding rapid intensification events of major storms, such as the sudden escalation of Hurricane Otis from a tropical storm to a Category 5 hurricane just before landfall in 2023. A purported whistleblower, claiming to have worked on auxiliary systems for the project, described a capability utilizing quantum scalar waves focused through the ice sheet itself to deliberately destabilize atmospheric jet streams or polar vortexes. The alleged goal? To engineer specific climate-related disasters, creating controlled chaos that could be leveraged politically or economically. Leaked draft reports, allegedly from internal EU think tanks, discuss hypothetical scenarios where manufactured climate crises could justify the implementation of controversial global carbon taxation schemes or policies aimed at population reduction under the guise of environmental protection. Is Antarctica hosting a hidden weapon capable of holding the world's climate hostage? The Antarctic ice may hold secrets not just of advanced technology or other intelligences, but potentially of our own forgotten history. In 2020, reports surfaced attributed to paleontologists affiliated with the British Antarctic Survey working near the Gamburtsev subglacial mountains of a startling discovery, a fossilized humanoid skeleton of immense size. Initial measurements suggested a height of approximately 14 feet. While recognizably humanoid, the skeletal structure reportedly displayed anomalies, including, according to unverified genetic analyses mentioned in leaked notes, 24 pairs of chromosomes instead of the human 23, yet sharing an estimated 98% genetic overlap with Homo sapiens. This suggested a divergent hominid species, a hybrid, or something else entirely. The lead scientist on the project, identified as Dr. Hing, Elena Marquez, allegedly faced immense pressure to suppress the findings and later vanished after attempting to leak her research. Her notes purportedly referencing sonar mapping data revealing a city of the Titans beneath the Weddell Sea ice. Could these be connected to global myths of giants, like the Tunit of Inuit lore or the biblical Nephilim? As if frozen giants weren't enough, perhaps the most mind-bending phenomenon reported relates to localized distortions in space-time itself. In 2023, a research team near the Shackleton Range allegedly documented a confirmed time dilation event. Highly precise atomic clocks deployed in the area measured time passing fractionally slower, approximately 0.003 seconds less per hour, compared to control clocks outside the zone. Drones sent into the heart of the anomaly returned with corrupted data logs but startling fragmented video, glimpses of a lush, temperate, ice-free Antarctica, complete with vegetation and flowing rivers, existing simultaneously with the frozen wasteland. CERN physicists, consulted covertly according to leaks, theorized a potential link to micro-black holes or interdimensional weak points. Echoes of this exist in the controversial Vostok tapes, decades-old audio logs from the Russian drilling project at Lake Vostok, where scientists reported hearing voices and experiencing vivid hallucinations of a sunlit ancient world during deep ice core extraction. From hidden technologies and non-human entities to giant skeletons and temporal anomalies, the Antarctic Forbidden Zones guard secrets that challenge our understanding of history, physics, and reality itself. The question isn't just what governments are hiding, but why. Perhaps some truths are deemed too dangerous for humanity to confront.